Good afternoon. It's Miss Kim with Miss Kim's Tarot and tearoom.com. Let me go ahead and give us a timestamp. It is 3:14 p.m. Eastern Time on June the 7th, 2026. Today we have a moon in Pisces right now, which are really some beautiful energies. I've had the most peaceful and just easy day today. Also, the moon will stay in Pisces until 8:38 p.m. tomorrow, June the 8th. I'll go ahead and read the aspects for June the 8th. We have a void of course moon at 8:38 p.m. We have the moon sextile Mars on the 8th, which creates nervousness and excitement. Then we have the moon squaring the sun. Make sure that you're patient and you do not try to push any matter, because it could blow up in your face if you do try to do that. Then we have the moon trine Venus. It's a really good time for beautiful purchases and redecoration. And then we have the moon trining Jupiter later in the evening, which creates a condition of being overly optimistic with your ideas. Try to be practical, but also creative. Just know that you may have to be realistic in your plans and ideas, and go forward with that. On June the 9th, the moon will go into Aries at 4:33 a.m. So it's very important that you guard that body part, which is its ruler, which is the head, the nose, the face. And these times can create headaches or sinus issues, but also some really interesting ideas can pop out at this time that you can carry out. So the first aspect that I have is the moon sextile Uranus, which means you may be very original and inventive and creative. Then the moon conjuncts Neptune, and there can be distractions and sensitive emotions, and that is around noon on Eastern time. So just be aware that something unexpected could happen, or it could be disruptive and it could cause you to get emotionally upset. And then we have the moon sextile Pluto, which could be a time of enlightening discussions and intense feelings, which may mean your feathers are still ruffled from the distractive energy an hour prior to that. And lastly, we have the Venus conjunct Jupiter, which creates a more joyful energy along with happiness. So those were the aspects collectively for the next 2 days coming up. And I wanted to go ahead and announce this week's tea room, which will be Wednesday, June the 10th. It's a 20-minute tea room on Zoom from 12 p.m. until 2 p.m. And those sessions are $85 per person, and it's recorded and sent to your email afterwards. These sessions are completely private, one-on-one. Just make sure that you book within 24 hours of the tea room, which should be around June the 9th by 11:30 a.m. I'm having to start doing 24-hour advance bookings for all sessions and tea rooms, just as a FYI. Next, I'm going to talk about each sign and give them a little quick one-card spread for the next couple of days. So let's start with Aries and go until we get to Pisces, okay? All right, here we go. I'm going to spread the cards, and we're going to do one card for each sign, starting with Aries. So this popped out. As you can see, this is a 9 of Rods, which has to do with delays and adjournments to getting things off the ground. So just be aware that you may have some delays over the next couple of days getting things that you want off the ground, and movement might be kind of slow. So next we're going to do Taurus. So let's take a look at Taurus and see how that goes. What do you need to know, Taurus? You get 2 cards by accident or by purpose. So we've got the King of Wands, who's a very animated energy. It can be a person or it can be an energy who is very protective over the people that he feels responsible for, or protective over the energy of people that person loves. And it certainly shows Someone who is a great ruler, who is a fair-minded person and likes to have fun. And then this shows there are bright hopes and prospects that day. So the next few days looks very good for Taurus. So let's take a look and see what's going on with Gemini. Which is an air sign, and we have an air sign female, and this card can show someone who is definitely in their head too much thinking about a situation with a person. It can mean being apart from someone that you care about. It can mean a relationship is kind of on the rocks right now, so just be careful. Especially that one aspect that we have that can cause distractions and sensitive emotions. So let's take a look at Cancer and see what Cancer wants to say to us, collective. It's showing success in all forms. The only thing that you have to worry about is becoming too extreme in your thinking and being an all or nothing kind of thought form that you have. But otherwise, everything looks very good for Cancer over the next 2 to 3 days. And then let's take a look at Leo. You're going to see things from a different point of view because you may be turned upside down and be forced to look at things in a different perspective. It will create enlightenment, and you certainly may have not thought about a situation in that perspective, and it's going to help you grow spiritually. Okay, so let's take a look at Virgo. Virgo, you better watch getting in complicated relationships. Watch how your thoughts are on finances, because your mindset could create a poverty consciousness for you. But of all things, think about what you're entering into in your relationships, because they certainly can undo you, especially if a third party comes in. Sometimes relationships need to be as private as possible, and that means not involving your family, your friends, your co-workers, asking their advice, because that third party, or it could be somebody trying to impede on your relationship. So just be aware of that. But they can do a lot of destruction in your relationships in the thoughts of trying to help. Okay, so let's take a look at Libra. And it's definitely showing that you could get a little bit out of control emotionally. And it shows to be careful about being in too much codependency or an emotional bondage that you have in a relationship. But to really check the negative emotions that you are pulling up right now, don't externalize it. Just sit with that feeling and really try to find the source where it came from. Okay, let's take a look at Scorpio. This one wanted to jump out. Showing a really good time for you financially. Something being offered, possibly a larger sum of money, but it is certainly showing that you're going to do well financially this week. Okay, and let me take a look at Sagittarius and see what's going on there. It's showing that a wish that you have had emotionally for a while may come to fruition at this time. So somewhere between the next few days, it is showing a wish coming true emotionally that you have wanted in your heart for a while. But it also can be a really physical time. So there could be attraction, and that could, blossom a relationship or one that's already there. It just may be a good time for that. It doesn't necessarily give longevity, but it certainly does say that those aspects are present for you to enjoy. Okay, so let's take a look at Capricorn and see what Capricorn has to say. It says you may just want to walk off and do your own thing because of having to deal with too much emotional stuff or too much of other people's things, and you're like, I will find my own way. If there is not a way, I will make one. And it's definitely showing that you kind of want to detach from too much emotional energy. I think a lot of people are at that place right now. I know I am. And so let's take a look at Aquarius. It's saying you have the power. You have the power to control where you want that chariot to go. You have the reins of power and you can direct energy right now. So that's really good, Aquarius. Make sure that you're directing that energy in the right place. And the last but not the least is our Piscean friends. So it's saying there's going to be more reliability, responsibility, definitely a more grounded energy is coming in for you. So I'm going to read a little bit with the True Intentions deck because I love it. And just want to ask, what does collective want to know spiritually? What's some good advice over the next couple of days? I'm going to do a little 3-card spread. Y'all, I'm still working on how to do a live because I want to do some live readings so you can kind of see what it's like. But it's going to take me to get some help with that because there's some kind of code that I have to put in and I don't know what that is. So, empathy. I will provide emotional support and always try to understand you. So let's hope we've got some empathetic people here that are supporting us and we are supporting them. And it is showing secret. There's something I'm holding back. So just be aware that you may not be getting the whole truth and nothing but the truth. And then here we have perspective. I value your opinion and would appreciate your unique approach to this situation. So this is somebody asking for advice. Virgo, you need to be careful with this advice because it's already talking about a third party getting impeding on a relationship. So just make sure that the advice you get is something that feels right in your spirit. Because not all advice is good advice. Everybody has an opinion. That doesn't mean their opinion is helping you. So, I am Miss Kim with Miss Kim's Tarot and tearoom.com. I'll put my contact information below the video. I hope that you have a really great next couple of days. And I will see you later. Bye.